Hello, all you beautiful people, and thank you for being here on Linda Summers Life channel. So today I am going to talk. Well, so anyway, if you are new to my channel, thank you. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you are coming back to my channel, thank you for coming back. I greatly appreciate it. And today's topic is going to be on spirituality. So I just felt like this is where I want to go. I'm gonna do a bunch of series on this, just because of where we're at in life. And I should have this other video up and coming up pretty soon here. And so anyway, where we're at in life and just all the things that are happening energetically, spiritually, all of what's going on. I just thought, and a lot more people are waking up, and what does that really mean, and what is spirituality? And so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to put together a video that really, what is spirituality? So spirituality is recognizing that our role in life has greater value than what we do every day. It relieves us from the dependence on the material things and helps us with our life purpose. I feel for me, it's like this connection to myself, which is that spirit self within me, that soul that resides within me, and connecting to that. That's what I feel spirituality is. And that spirit is the God that resides within us. Creator, because we were made in the image of Creator. And when you think about it, when you're a baby and you're being born, actually that first breath, right? What is that breath of life? What actually keeps us operating effectively and efficiently, and just that our body does what it does and it's supposed to do? I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever asked yourself these questions, but this is the spirituality. This is the wakening up to really, who are we? Who are we? And so, like I said, there's this greater, that we recognize there's this role in life that is greater, has greater value than what we do every day. And so it's that connection. So going back to that baby, it's that breath of life. It is that creator, that God source, that is the life that lives within us, that is giving us life every single day. So I feel that in this whole spiritual process, that there's an awakening that's within us. That if we can recognize this, and start asking ourselves these questions like, who am I? I mean, I think we get to a certain point, or sometimes we don't get to a certain point. But I feel that the direction that we're heading, that more people are starting to awaken and go, wait a minute, like something's not right here. Is this all there is to life? And so if you can start questioning and asking questions earlier, instead of waiting until later on in your life, and start asking those questions, why am I here? What is my purpose? What is the value that I give, right? How can I be of service? How can I gift my gift to humanity? And start inquiring on those, and then we start to awaken. I know I started my spiritual journey, that I was aware that I was on my spiritual journey back, oh gosh, a little over 30 years ago. And my little sister introduced me to angels. And so that was my first introduction to spirituality. And so I was like, oh, I really love this. Like, I mean, you kind of, I grew up Catholic. And so, I knew about angels and all of that. But I really I knew about that, but I thought there was a separation, right? But there's really not this separation. And so the more that I dove into that, and the more I expanded outside of that and got more curious, and that's really a key too, is being very curious, right? So the more I got curious, I was like, what is that? Like, what does that mean? And so I started to ask questions, and I started to seek, right? And looking for different things. And so what is spirituality? So I started asking all these questions and things like that. But really, it really all resides within ourselves. But we have to awaken within. So there's an inner, I call it the inside job, that it's going inward and asking yourself all these questions, right? That are, what's important to you? What is the essence of you? And so I feel that it helps with emotions. So wherever we're at in our life, the spirituality can help with our emotions, our emotional state. Well, if we're in this depressive or frustration or anger or things like that, it's like to really dive within ourself and go to that part of ourself, right? And the only way to get there is to be still, to be centered, and to be grounded. And so when I started my journey, like I said, I sought out and just started seeking and just kind of inquiring and asking and grabbing as much information as I can, but also applying that information that I was, that I had gained. And so, and I was pretty positive anyway in my life, and I always knew that there was a positive in everything, like everything, even though it did not look positive. Even for myself, I was like, I gotta find the silver lining here. There's a positivity here somewhere. And it may not show up that day, but it could have shown up like a week or a month or a year or whatever. But I didn't even look at the time frame. I just knew that there had to be a reason why this was showing up in my life. Like, what am I doing to have this show up in my life? And so that kind of just stirred this curiousness about myself and going on the spiritual path, right? To finding out who I was, to awakening more of me, like the essence, like I was saying, the essence of me, and what makes Linda tick, what makes Linda respond versus react. How does Linda view the outside world and things like that? So that was for me very beneficial, and knowing that I was on this spiritual path and that I was diving deep into myself gave me, during those times of loneliness, depression, and all of the anxiety and things, gave me something to look forward to. Like, I knew that there was a bigger purpose for me here. So it was like I had that out in the forefront going, you know what, I have to get there. Like, that's where I need to be. And in order to get there, I've got to do this to get there. And so that's how I kind of viewed it. And so, so like I said, I really feel that it helps with the emotions in our life and what we're experiencing in our life, that it can give us a different perspective. And so when we are going through experiences in our life, know that everything that happens to you and for you is for your benefit. Every single thing. Creator knows exactly what he's doing. And in one of my other videos, I talk about, in my beauty tip video, I talk about the universe will move us. It will keep pushing us and saying, nope, you need to be over here, right? And so it's important for us to recognize the signs. So when we start to awaken and we start inquiring and asking questions, numbers will start coming up. 333, 222, 1111, 111. You'll start to see a sequence of numbers, right? You're on the right path. Think about what you were thinking at that moment. You're on the right path. You might see a bumper sticker that you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about that. It's confirmation that where you're at is where you need to be, where you're supposed to be. So look for signs. Animals are great signs for us. When they come into our path, there's a book called Animals Speak that you can look at. And you can probably find it online or read about it, or just look up animals. If you see something that's odd, or if you just see an animal that, like hummingbirds come around. I have a hummingbird feeder, obviously they come around. But it's funny because the hummingbirds, my room was on the other side, and the hummingbirds were literally, like, if they're out of food, or just if they're just want to be playful, or they sense when I'm going through something, they'll go to my window and they'll be fluttering, like, hey, I'm here, like either I need to be fed or hey, we're here. And it always puts a smile. It's like dolphins, they always put a smile on your face. So there are so many signs. When we start to seek and we start to open up and start asking those questions, you will find, and pay attention to the signs. It could be somebody talking, it could be music playing on the radio, it could be a number of things, but there are always signs showing us that we're on the right path. And so, especially when you get things in 3, you're like, okay, I need to like pay attention to that, you know. But even if you don't, it's like if that's something that somebody says something that it really resonates with you, um, you know, you really take a look at it, because it may be something that it's calling you. You know what I mean? So, I'm trying to think what else I could tell you. I just think that for me, it has just helped me in so many ways on just on my outlook on life, and also too how you know when. Well, I shouldn't say how you know when, but what spirituality has given to me is a sense of peace. There's a peace about me that has only come from that, and I'm just gonna have some other videos on how to acquire that peace as well. But it's given me this peace within that, and not to say that I don't have these uprisings and oh my God, what am I gonna do? I have all that too, right? Because we're human, right? But I always bring it back to, wait a minute, what is this showing me? Why is this appearing in my life? And so, like I said, I'll have to say that's one of the really gifts that it has given me, is to know that I can be at peace when everything is going on in the world. I can be at peace with myself, and I feel that too, that if we, and I'm not saying like I'm just totally ignoring that, in a sense I am, but I'm not giving my energy to that. Gandhi said it best: if you want to be the change in the world, or if you want to see change in the world, you need to be the change in the world. It's probably not how he said it exactly. Be the change that you want to see in the world, I think is how he says it. Mother Teresa: if you want peace, be the peace. And so again, it's about this going inward and this awakening to this, like I said that in the very beginning, of recognizing that our role has greater value than what we do every day, and taking this, you know, this dependence on this material things, because look, when we leave the earth, we're not taking any of this with us, and we're eternal beings, right? Where we're going, we don't need anything, right? We are love and light. So I'm just so grateful for the gift that it has given me of this peace, where I can, you know, be in certain situations and be at peace with that, and just really come into center and be grounded. And I really, there's just so many benefits, you guys, when you start to walk this spiritual path and you start to awaken. But it begins with inquiring. It begins with a desire, a curiosity. And I feel that given what's going on in the world today, I feel that more people are waking up, more people are inquiring, more people are curious. You know, and I think that it's just for us to recognize that there is a greater source energy, creator, that is just making all of this this work. It's just like this. I see, and I keep doing this because I feel like it's the DNA, this intertwining of us doing this dance in life. And the order to do the dance in life, we have to participate. In order to participate, we have to remember who we are. These love and light beings, that we're not this body, we're not the emotions, we are so much more than that. And that's where, when you start to begin your spiritual journey and you start to awaken, that you'll find out. And you know, when you start this journey, a lot of things are going to come up. I'll have to say, a lot of things came up for me. I went through, I think I said in one of my videos, a dark night of the shadow, but it's the dark night of the soul. You know, I went through some dark stuff. I went through a lot of loneliness, and I'll be doing some videos on those. So I went through a lot of that. And, you know, I didn't have anyone to talk to. When I reached out, there was no one available. And I was like, what the heck? Like, how come nobody's could be available for me? Like, I really need somebody, like, right now. And then in introspect, when I kind of sat back, I was like, okay, wait a minute. They're not supposed to be here. I need to ride through this myself. I need to go through this myself. And so, not to say that everything we go through in our life is to go through ourselves, but what I'm saying is that there are going to be things that are going to come up for you. And because when you're diving deep in, there's going to be a lot of stuff, right? You're going to start asking, like, what the heck's this for? And it's like an onion. It peels away. We're going to keep peeling away layers and layers and layers and layers until the day we die. We're just going to keep peeling back, because there's just so much after lifetime that we have gained, that we have experienced, that have just, put these layers on us. So now we're just peeling back the layers. When you come into the spirituality, peeling back those layers. And I feel that how we are today is based upon our childhood. And so whatever you went through as a child, whether it be good, bad, which I don't like to say good or bad, but whatever that experience was, look at it as, and this is, again, these are all my beliefs, my perceptions of what I have realized in my own spiritual journey and awakening. Oh gosh, I just forgot what I was saying. When you go through these experiences, that things are going to come up for you. I can't remember what it was. That things are going to come up for you. And, I was talking about when you were a child. So when you were a child, how we are today is based upon those experiences that we had gone through. But what I realized throughout my journey was that I chose those parents, my marriages and such. I chose everything, my friends and stuff like that. So I chose those people for me to awaken, for them to mirror back to me, right? That what I need, and relationships are the best way to grow and evolve, right? And that's what we're here, is to grow and evolve and to remember who we are. So so when you're doing your journey, just remember the spiritual path, that there are going to be things that are come up, and it's just really good to take a look at those and just go, it was an experience that I had. What did it teach me? What did it show me? What did I learn from this? And how can I not do this again, right? And so not repeat the pattern. So it's just becoming the observer of your life and just noticing things within your life, what come up, but noticing things that the universe is trying to tell you and give you signs that you're on the right path. And so even if you're in a position where you're just like, oh my gosh, you're probably there for a reason. And so there are no mistakes. You are where you are supposed to be. So that is my take on spirituality and awakening, a little bit of my own spiritual journey that I went through. And like I said, I don't know where I would be without that. Like I said, it has brought so much peace to me, and I have so much gratitude. I have so much more love for Mother Earth, for life in itself, so much love for people. And I really attribute that to my spirituality. So go out there, start to get curious, start to ask those questions, pay attention when you start to ask those questions, and be curious. Pay attention to the signs around you, and just let those layers of that onion just peel away, and just honor those experiences and feel those experiences when you recognize something, when you start to go in, and just start to look at different things. And I'll have to say, one thing that I never did do is I never was a groupie, or I never what's the word I'm looking for? Looked at someone as my guru. The only guru I have is him. And he's not even my guru. He is my father. And so, you know what I mean? I've never, there's a lot of teachers out there that I gained so much from them, and that I love, right? But there was nothing, anybody I was like, oh my God, I just got to keep with this person because, they're this, and this. I didn't look at them as a God. Like, I only have one God. And so, be careful of that you go and you get what you need, all these gems, but also too, we can acquire all the knowledge, but unless we apply it and it becomes a part of us, it doesn't do us any good. So whatever you're learning, apply that in your life, apply that with people, even when you're at the grocery store, or when you're out and about, or at Starbucks, or wherever. Apply what you're learning, and then that will actually help more, because what you're doing is you're rewiring and reconnecting and building new neurons in your brain when you're doing something different and you keep doing it over and over and over again. It becomes a habit. So that's what it's become for me, a habit, because I've done it so often that it's become this habit. So now it is part of my beingness, right? But it wasn't at first. And there's still things that I still work on. You know, I'm not perfect by no means. And so you want to definitely be, you know, just being aware of that, you know, to keep, the more that you do this, the more it will rewire. And how you'll kind of know is that when what I noticed is, and what I teach is that also it's about recognition. When you're first on your spiritual path, when you start to recognize, like, oh my gosh, I just had a self-negative thought. Oh my gosh, I was just mean to that person. Oh my gosh, like, I just lied, or I just whatever. As soon as you catch that, that's the first thing in your spiritual path, is that you immediately recognize it. And you're like, okay, wait a minute, I take that back. And of course, now with the energies being the way they are, I mean, we can manifest like that. So, you know, before it was great that they gave us the time, that it took a long time to manifest the negativity, you know what I mean, with the positive. So we were like, bring it on now, bring it on now. And so, yeah, so now it's just like, yeah, you don't want, because I've noticed that things, if I do certain things, like how I will notice how it will come back to me immediately. And I was like, wow, that was fast. So, I mean, we're picking up speed, guys. We are picking up speed. Mother Earth is like, she's on trajectory, you know, she's moving, and we're moving with her because we're a part of her. And to really honor her. I mean, look at this beauty all around us. Magnificent. Even when this tree is bare, it is beautiful, so beautiful. So look at the beauty in the world, not the ugliness, not the hate. Look at the beauty. And the more that you look at the beauty and the positive things, the more that you will see. And you will see less of the other. But you will know it's there. But you will see less of it. And you'll put your energy more towards the other. So that is my message for today on spirituality and what it is and what it's done for me and how it can so benefit you in so many ways. And I'll be doing a video on some other things that will also help you as well in your journey. So thank you again for tuning in today. Welcome if you're new, and thank you for all the ones that have joined me before and are joining me again. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you'll know when the next video is going to be up and running. And I wish you a most amazing day, and I wish you well on your spiritual path. And just know that once you get on that path, there is no going back. You will never go back, because it feels so good to be on this path. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are uncomfortable, a lot. But I'm telling you, it is so worth it. So worth it. You will thank yourself for it. And just remember, you're love and light. That's who you really are. This beautiful, magnificent soul that chose to come down here to awaken, to remember, to bring this beautiful planet back to where she needs to be. So thank you again. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next video. Love you.